Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Brittany. I'm a health coach and nutritionist, and my channel is all about helping you to create delicious, low FODMAP meals to improve your digestive health. If you're into it, go ahead and subscribe. We put out a new video each week. Okay, so today we are making mulligatawny, which is a creamy curried chicken and rice soup. It's one of my favorites. It has such a bold flavor from all of the curry powder, and those herbs are actually insanely good for your health. There are a bunch of different kinds of curry blends, but most of them do contain turmeric and coriander. Now, these are medicinal spices that have been shown to act as a digestive aid in people with IBS and to reduce bloating, abdominal pain, and other things like that. So this soup can really help to ease an IBS flare-up. So most people think that mulligatawny is an Indian dish, but it's actually an English dish that really takes into account and appreciates Indian flavors. I know I first heard of this soup when I was a kid and I was watching Seinfeld, the Soup Nazi episode, right? Mulligatawny was one of his amazing soups. So I always wanted to make it, and now that I have learned how, I'm making this soup I don't know, once every couple of weeks. It's just so good. All right, let's get started. All right, so one of the ingredients we're using today are leeks. It's like a giant green onion, basically. So we are just going to trim off the top portion right here. You don't want to eat this stem. It has way too many FODMAPs in it. You also want to make sure when you wash it, you kind of get down into the grooves because dirt can hide there. So I'm just gonna hold it together like this and give it just a nice little cut so it kind of looks like ribbons. So you see it's like a nice hearty green. So if you can't find leeks in your grocery store, just use green onions. It'll have the same effect. We're also gonna be using carrots today. Carrots are a great low FODMAP vegetable. They actually don't have any FODMAPs in them. And when they're cooked, they are super easy to digest. So carrots are full of beta carotene, which convert to vitamin A in your body. Vitamin A is good for your vision. It also helps to boost your immune system, which I know that is something that we should all be doing right now. Vitamin A is fat soluble, so you want to make sure that you are eating your carrots with a little bit of fat. It's going to help you absorb all of that vitamin A. These are some fat carrots. I love carrots in the winter because they're always super fat like this. They're perfect for soup. So when I'm using a carrot like this one that's, more tapered towards the tip and fatter up top, to get pieces that are the same size, I kind of just start chopping the end like this a little bit. And then once it starts to get a little bit fatter, this piece, I'll cut in half circles like this. And then this one, I'll actually cut into quarters. Oops. So you'll see our carrots, they're more similar in size when we do it that way. It's okay to have them a little bit different. It'll give you different textures in your soup. Some will be more mushy, some will be a little bit more crisp. It's kind of nice that way. So I guess we only needed one large carrot. So yeah, just one carrot. Put that back in there. We're also going to be using okra today. This is the first year that I've experimented with okra, and I actually really love this vegetable. This is going to sound really weird, but okra kind of tastes like nacho cheese to me. It has sort of a bell peppery flavor to it, and it also has an umami factor. That's why I feel nacho cheese is the way to describe it. Okra is actually super cool too in soups because when you cut into these pods, they have a gelatinous quality that kind of helps to thicken your soup or your sauce, whatever you're putting it in. A lot of people put them in curries, so I figure a curry soup, perfect. To prep our okra, we're gonna cut off the stem part and the tip right here. And then we're just going to cut it in half to a 1/4 inch piece. And you'll see they have these cool little star shape. And it's these pods right here that when you cut into them, that's what gets gelatinous. Okra does contain FODMAPs, but the low FODMAP serving is 7 pods of okra. These are pods. So we're gonna use about 6 of these in our entire recipe that is made to feed 4 people. So you're well within the low FODMAP serving. All right, so here we have our cup of okra. Okay, we're also going to be using a little bit of cilantro in our soup. Just kind of give this a rough chop. We probably won't use all of this in our soup, but I always just like to have cut up cilantro on hand. Throw it in everything. I also have a pound of chicken thighs here that I have trimmed the excess fat off and chopped into about 1-inch pieces. So now that our chicken and our veggies are prepped, let's go over to the stove and cook it up. We have our Dutch oven here, preheated on high heat. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of garlic oil. If you're trying to keep this dish dairy-free, I would suggest using coconut oil instead. Okay, we're gonna add our carrots. We're also going to add our bay leaves and our coriander seeds and crushed red pepper. All the amounts for the ingredients will be linked in the description. We're gonna let these caramelize on one side for about 5 minutes. Okay, so our carrots are looking amazing. They're like deep fried. They look delicious. We're going to add our leek leaves. Okay, we're gonna add our spices. Here we have 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of gluten-free flour. So this is going to make a sort of roux, and it's going to help to thicken your soup. So you see how that's getting nice and frothy? That's exactly what we want. You want to cook it just for a couple of minutes to get that flour flavor out of it. Once you start to smell the roux, you know it doesn't have that flour flavor anymore. Okay, now we're going to start to whisk in our water. Just start with a cup or so, just so that we get all of that flour incorporated and it's not clumpy. See how thick that is? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna add the rest of our water. Oops. Okay, today we're gonna be using Foddy chicken soup base. You guys know I love this stuff. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons. Oh my God, I'm almost out of this container already. Good thing I bought like 4 of them at a time. Okay, now we're going to add our chicken. And we're going to add a 1/2 cup of rice. I like using white rice because I feel like it is the easiest to digest since it doesn't have the husk on it. Okay, so now we're just going to bring this up to a boil. After you guys put in the rice, make sure to give it a good stir every once in a while so your rice doesn't stick to the bottom of your pot. Okay, now we're just going to add our okra and the lid. We're going to turn down the heat and simmer it for about 15 minutes. Just give the soup a nice stir every once in a while. Our chicken's nice and poached. Rice is getting cooked. Yeah. Okay, our mulligatawny has been simmering for about 15 minutes. It's nice and thick. Oh, look how nice and cooked that rice is, and the chicken is just like poached to perfection. Okay, so now let's add our finishing touches. We're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. I know what you guys are thinking. Whoa, what about the lactose? But heavy cream actually doesn't have very much lactose in it. The low FODMAP serving is actually 1 tablespoon. So this whole pot only has 2 tablespoons. You are well within the low FODMAP serving. Oh yeah, nice and creamy. Okay, now we're gonna finish it off with a handful of cilantro. I like a lot of cilantro, obviously. And the juice of 1/2 lemon. I like to squeeze it through my fingers so I can catch the seeds. This is gonna help give our soup some tang and really brighten up those flavors. Ooh, yeah. All right, now let's go dish this up and have a taste. All right. Let's dish this up. I can't wait to try it. I love that the soup is nice and thick. It's sort of like almost porridge-like, not as thick. Oh, if you guys are new to working with bay leaves, don't eat them. Make sure you take them out. I always forget to take them out, and so we say that whoever finds the bay leaf in their food has good luck. I love this broth. So good. It has like, it does taste like chicken soup, but it has like a little something extra to it. Try one of these okra. I love it. So good. It's like, it provides great texture for the soup. It's cooked all the way through, but it's still a little bit crunchy. Same thing with the carrots. Tender, but you've got that good mouthfeel, you know? You just don't want soup to be completely mushy all the way through. That's no fun. Try some of this chicken. It's so juicy and tender. That's what happens when you simmer it. So if you're not concerned about FODMAPs or anything, I think another great addition to this dish would be 2 tablespoons of red lentils. I would put them in the same time I put the okra in. It would thicken it up a bit more and make it like a real like porridge-y kind of soup. If you wanted to make this dish nightshade free, just choose a curry powder that doesn't have any red pepper in it, like paprika or cayenne or anything like that. Garam masala would actually be a really good choice. That's usually the curry spice that I use when my sister is home because she has a problem with nightshades. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this recipe, found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and go follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next week.